My 31F husband, 33 meters, was stuck in Dallas during the storm. 2 weeks later I found out he spent the time at his HS ex-girlfriend's house. If it was truly an emergency solution, why did he lie? Edit L. New info at bottom of post. Both my husband and I grew up in a town called Denton NW of Dallas. We went to the same high school but didn't connect until after college when we were both living in a new city. I thought we had an amazing marriage. For backstory, I couldn't stand him in high school. He was part of this group that included his ex-girlfriend who had been my literal enemy since grade school. Almost everyone from high school got along when we'd see them, but she remained truly evil and our feud would start right back up every time we go back to Denton. He used to tease me for it but I didn't care. I hated her. Fast forward to the massive storm. It just so happened that husband was in Dallas that week for work. I don't remember the exact day now, but he called me, said power was out, he had no cell phone battery and his flight had been cancelled and he was going to try to make it to see friends in Denton, about an hour away. When he finally made it home he said all went okay but was actually uneventful. I took that to mean he didn't want to talk about it. No problem, I was happy he was safe and home. Fast forward to yesterday, the gossip had gotten around Denton and back to me that he had never made it out of Dallas and he'd actually stayed at his ex-girlfriend's place, who lives in Dallas proper now. I was so angry my head almost exploded because I felt so deceived. I called my best friend in Denton to ask her what she knew and she told me that his ex-girlfriend had been to town and casually mentioned that my husband shacked up with her and was her storm buddy. I was so angry I almost packed up and moved out, but I waited for him to get home and he was calm, I wasn't. He said the situation in Dallas was so bad and the roads were so impassable that he would have died had he tried to make it to Denton. He said her apartment was in walking distance to where he was and she was the absolute last resort. He said they agreed right off the bat that because of the history they would stay in totally separate rooms the entire time he was there and not even be in the kitchen together. I asked why he didn't tell me and he said he's never seen me as mad as I get to anything relating to her and he felt it was best to be honest and answer my questions, but I'd never asked if he made it to Denton or who he stayed with. True, I guess. I'm so hot under the collar over this. Angry doesn't even begin to describe how I feel, but I don't want to make any rash decisions being that I'm so angry. What do I do here? Why did he lie? Edit. Thank you everyone who's posted so far. I have not spoken to my husband and am staying in our second bedroom because I'm so angry I'm afraid of what I might say to him. But I woke up to this email from her, name's changed obviously. Deanna, I really need to apologize to you for my actions over the past few days and I think we should clear the air about recent events. Amber Smith let me know how angry you are with Tony because he stayed in my apartment during the storm. I also assume this means you are angry with me. She also told me you are thinking about leaving him over this. I don't know what you've heard or what Tony has told you, but I swear on my children nothing happened between us and he only stayed with me out of pure necessity. I understand how bad this looks, especially considering our history, but before you do something stupid and leave a great guy, at least hear me out. You probably don't know that the reason Roger and I broke up is because he cheated on me with multiple women. Broke me in ways you can't imagine, so I completely understand how you are feeling suspecting something happened. It hurt me so bad that I swore I would never make another woman feel like that. You are no exception to this. I love Tony for all he was in my life and for the friendship we've maintained, but I have the utmost respect for his marriage, even with me and your history. Tony called me stuck in the middle of downtown with a dying cell phone and it turns out he was minutes away from my apartment and he initially came over to charge his phone and make calls. Things got worse and he couldn't make it to Denton, so I offered him to stay with me. I was insanely busy those 2 days, so we maybe said 2 words to each other the whole time he was here. He stayed in my son's room and absolutely nothing happened. I don't know what's going on in your house right now, but I hope this jives with what Gregory told you. I know he was open and honest with you like he's always been, and I hope my accounting of events clears your head a little bit. Would never cheat with your husband or any man. I know the hurt. He could have called and asked for your permission. He could have called you first thing it happened and let you know. He could have told you when he got home. He could have brought it up when you asked him how his trip was. He only told you because you heard from other people. You could have called the hotel he could have stayed in if it was even true about not being able to check in. I find this to be extremely disrespectful and hard to believe nothing happened. He is manipulating you, saying if you wanted him dead if not being able to go there. Honesty is very important in this situation. He lied for a reason. Only people that have nothing to hide tell the truth no matter what. He didn't tell you because of how mad gun you get? Wow, I bet you not only got madder but also felt betrayed and incredibly depressed to find out through the gossip mill that the mean girl was going around your hometown telling everybody that she shacked up with your husband and they were storm buddies. I don't know if he cheated, but he sure didn't seem to care about you. I know, and it breaks my heart. Is nobody going to ask why, while on business to Dallas, he stays within walking distance of her place? I go to Dallas all the time for work. Dallas is a huge spread out city and surrounding area with literally hundreds of hotels. This wasn't by accident that he was staying so close to her. That's fucked up. I find it very hard to believe that he had no other option than staying with his ex. And if that was truly the case, why not be honest about it? It just so happened that husband was in Dallas that week for work. Where was he staying when he was there for work? And why couldn't he just continue to stay where he was? At a major hotel chain that apparently had major freezing and flooding issues and apparently couldn't get checked in anywhere else in Dallas. How many times has your husband been in Dallas on business? I am wondering if that is actually the first time they shacked up. Check your phone records, see how many times he has called her ever. I, 38F, thought my soon-to-be ex-husband, 40M, wanted to get back together, but it turns out he does not. I am devastated and embarrassed. How do I get past this? We got married when I was 21. We have 3 kids, 16, 12, 10. We have been separated a year now. He initially left because he was bored of me and fallen out of love, and he wanted to leave before he was stuck in our life and before he couldn't start over again. He did have a girlfriend who is in her 20s. About 6 months ago he started coming over after the kids were in bed to help me fix things around the house, and he would stay to talk and for a drink. I have been lonely, so I enjoyed this. Soon he initiated sex and I thought he wanted to try things between us again. Friday night he asked if I wanted to go to the restaurant we had our first date at and eat outside. I thought he was going to ask if I wanted to try our marriage again, but instead he gave me divorce papers to sign. It turns out he wants to get married to his girlfriend. I'm embarrassed to say I lost it and started to cry. He was horrified that I could be so dense about it all. He wants to sell the house and he will help me find an apartment for the kids and I, because I can't make mortgage payments myself, and he's buying a new house for his new life. I know I sound pathetic, but I need to know how I can start to get better from this and maybe smarter too. Anyone have advice? No, do not give up the house. Do not accept moving to an apartment with 3 kids. He needs to pay support for the family he made, and he doesn't get to just walk away with the money. Get a good lawyer. You and your children are entitled to continue the lifestyle you have. He needs to pay for the house and child support. Get your full share of the assets. Where is the money? Find the bank accounts and get a full picture. You're entitled to at least half of it all, not including the children's share. They deserve a house too, which you will live in with them. Lawyer. He had initially wanted to try this without lawyers, but he's a lawyer. But now I think I need to hire someone to help me. He took me off our main joint account and has been writing me a monthly check to cover the mortgage. It's been 4 hours since you posted this. Better have spent 3 of them finding a lawyer. I did. One of my friends used him for her divorce and he got her 25% above her prenup in the settlement. Get a lawyer now. After reading your comments, it's clear you are about to get fucked royally. BC, your ex is a lawyer and you are a sucker. It's clear you don't realize what you are legally and rightfully entitled to. Do not sign anything without a lawyer. Don't hire one he knows or recommends. Don't tell him or anyone he knows that you're looking for a lawyer. Find a divorce lawyer of your own. Not for you, but for your kids. If you're a good mom, you'll secure as much for their future as you can. Get a Lawyer, please. Also, tell the girlfriend how he was coming to have sex with you while being with her. Gosh, I am so sorry you're going through this. I cannot imagine the pain. Sorry, I have no advice for you, just internet hugs. But why are you embarrassed when he has been the one presumably cheating on his soon-to-be wife with you? Tanas, have you thought about telling her, or does she know? Karma needs to catch up with this dude. Sorry, I've never met her but have seen pictures of her on his social media, so I'm not sure if I should tell her. I am so sorry about this. It sounds like he was leading you on. It's one thing to help around the family house, but if he has a GF, why is he initiating sex with you? How could you not be dense about him suddenly popping up with divorce papers, a fiance, and plans to buy a new house and start a new life when he's having sex with you? You are so strong and you're going to find the person meant for you. This will hurt a lot, but you deserve so much better than someone who plays with your feelings and dates women half their age. He sounds like he's going through a midlife crisis. He also is unfaithful. You don't need him and his negativity. Focus on healing you and taking care of the kids. This chapter is over for the better. Sending hugs and sweets. Heart, thanks for your reply. When you put it that way, I guess I wasn't as stupid as I thought. My 27M wife, 28F, has a sex toy that I just figured out was modeled after an ex. I'm confused. What do I do? So I know this title probably sounds crazy, but yes, I recently figured out that the dildo my wife has was modeled after an ex-partner of hers. I'll explain below. I'll try to not go into too explicit of details. My wife and I have a good sex life. It seems to be healthy to me. We like to try new stuff at times, and we do of course have toys. We always liked that and enjoyed that. I of course encourage and like her to have fun by herself as well. She's had the one dildo since before we were married. She has more toys, but that one is by far the one she uses the most. Recently I was looking through our drawers for something in the house. Saw a random box I didn't know about. I opened it curious to see what was inside. It turned out to be her toy. I didn't know she stored any of them separately. It appeared that there was some pictures with it as well. I took the pictures out to see what they were. I was pretty shocked. It looked like they were pictures of one of her exes. In the pictures he was comparing the molded one and his own side by side and doing some poses in them. I was a little disgusted. My wife came home later that day and I had the box on the bed waiting for her. She looked a little surprised to see it laying out. She asked me what I was doing. I told her that she needed to explain herself. She said it's not what it looks like. I asked her why she kept the pictures and everything. Instead of unwearing, she asked why I was snooping in her stuff. I told her I got curious when I saw a random box. She seemed upset with me and didn't say anything for a minute. I questioned her again about the pictures. She finally told me that she likes to masturbate to the pictures sometimes because she gets to think about having sex with him and it seems hot to her since it was molded after him. She promised that she'd never cheat on me, but that this just made her feel good. She said it's just for fun. I asked her if she prefers that over me. She just said that she loves them both. I knew what that meant. I walked off and slammed the door. I've slept on the couch since then and we've barely spoke. I want to understand and I want to fix everything that's wrong between us. First, I just need to fully comprehend everything. I feel as though I was cheated on. I know that may not be accurate, but that's what it feels like. I don't know how my trust in her is anymore. What do I do now? Too long didn't read. My wife has a sex toy modeled after one of her exes. It has caused a fight between us.